When you think back on the Legend of Dragoon, you probably remember the awesome Dragoon transformations and the satisfying clink of a perfect edition. I mean, who didn't spend hours trying to perfect that edition timing? Oh man, that was always crazy fun. You remember a classic adventure to save the world. But what if I told you that underneath that heroic journey is a story way more tragic than you remember? A story where the line between hero and villain gets so blurry it basically disappears. Where friends are forced to become enemies, and where the biggest threat has been right by your side the whole time. Released in the golden era of PlayStation JRPGs, The Legend of Dragoon had the incredibly tough job of following giants like Final Fantasy VII and VIII. Yeah, no pressure, right? And yet, Sony's ambitious 4-disc epic carved out a passionate fan base that loves it to this day, myself included. On the surface, it has all the classic tropes. You've got a spiky-haired hero on a quest for revenge, a childhood friend in trouble, and a world getting torn apart by war. The game really sells itself as a straightforward hero's journey. You are Zieg Feld, and you're coming home to find your town in flames and the girl who's like a sister to you, Shauna, kidnapped. Your path seems clear. Rescue Shauna, beat the bad guys, save the day. It's a setup we've all seen 1,000 times. But that whole setup? It's a masterful trick designed to pull you into a conflict that's way older, darker, and more heartbreaking than you could have ever imagined. At the start, it's all about personal stakes. Dart's only goal is saving Shauna, and he teams up with Lavitz Lambert, the loyal knight of Bale, and they dive headfirst into the Serdian Civil War. Soon, they're saved by a mysterious woman in black named Rose. Now, she's impossibly skilled, quiet, and somehow seems to know things she shouldn't for her age. It's Rose who introduces Dart to the power of dragoons, awakening the spirit in his father's memento and letting him become the Red-Eyed Dragoon. Oh man, I don't know about you guys, but the first time I saw that transformation with Rose and Dart, that was just awesome. For the first disc, the story feels comfortable, almost predictable. You build your party, adding Haskell and King Albert. You fight Sandora, stop their super weapons, defend the capital. The lines are clear. Sandora, evil, and Basil is good. But early on, the game plants seeds of unease. Why does Rose seem to know so much about the ancient past? Why does she always seem to be so sad? And who is this silver-haired swordsman Lloyd? And has he always been pulling the strings from the shadows? That simple quest to end a war is slowly coming apart at the seams. You start realizing this isn't your average JRPG Save the Kingdom story. The first major crack in this heroic fantasy is burned into every fan's memory. The unfortunate death of Lavitz. Man, that one still hurts, no matter how many times I replay this game. It happened so suddenly and brutally at the hands of Lloyd. This isn't a noble sacrifice either. It's a cold, calculated murder to steal the moon gem. In that one moment, the game screams that the stakes are real. Nobody is safe. The conflict isn't just between nations anymore. It's personal. Lavitz's death turns a political duty into a burning need for justice. From here, the story explodes in scale. You learn Lloyd is working for Emperor Diaz, who's supposed to be a good guy, and his goal is to collect the divine moon objects. The war that felt like the whole point, it's just a footnote in a massive conspiracy. The party travels across Endiness, chasing Lloyd through kingdoms and ruins. He's always one step ahead though, manipulating courts, abducting key figures, and leaving chaos in his wake. The rescue mission is long gone. Now, it's a desperate race to stop a villain who's empowering a plan to awaken something apocalyptic. But the biggest twist isn't who the villain is, it's why. This is where the game rips the rug out. The reveals don't just twist the story, they rewrite it. Heroes become tragic figures, and villains become desperate saviors. The most gut-wrenching reveal? Rose. Your mentor, your guide, the calm warrior. She is the Black Monster, the very creature Dart swore to kill for destroying his hometown. Yeah, that reveal was pretty crazy when I was a kid. I mean, you kinda saw it coming, but it sure was still crazy. But it's not just a simple betrayal. Rose is immortal, a survivor of the ancient dragon campaign, and she bears a horrific duty: to hunt the Moonchild every 108 years and silence those who witness it, just to prevent the birth of the god of destruction. And it turns out Neat's destruction wasn't random evil. It was the Moonchild hunt gone through Dart's village. Rose's life is an endless cycle of grief, a hero cursed to be remembered as a monster, unfortunately. Dart's revenge collapses into realization that his greatest enemy has been his most loyal ally. Then there's Lloyd. He's ruthless, yeah, but he isn't chasing power for himself under Emperor Diaz. He's convinced the world can be regenerated. An engineered utopia if the 108th species is born. It's a zeal fueled by deception, not cartoon villainy. And that's what I love. There's just no cartoon bad guy here. Everyone's just trying to fix something broken. And finally, Zieg Feld, Dart's father. He isn't dead. He was petrified for millennia and revived when the spell began to wear off, only for his body to be possessed by Melbuframa, the ancient Wingly leader, when he tried to use his Dragoon spirit. The final battle is against the face of his own father. To save the world, ironically, Dart must destroy the man he spent his life trying to avenge. The Legend of Dragoon isn't a power fantasy, it's a tragedy. A story about history's weight, cycles of violence, and people crushed under destiny. The heroes fight monsters, yeah, but also fate itself. The villains aren't evil, they're broken souls trying to fix a broken world. The ending captures it perfectly. The world is saved. Dart and Shauna finally find peace, but it comes at a heavy cost. Zieg breaks free of Melbu's control and sacrifices himself, and Rose, refusing to let him face the end alone, joins him in the final charge that destroys the god of destruction. Their story ends in quiet tragedy. Two warriors who carried the weight of ages finally finding rest together. It's bittersweet. Even though the world survives, their loss lingers long after the credits roll. That's why this game endures. Not for its combat, but because it dared to tell a story where victory and sorrow were the same thing. I'm genuinely curious, because everyone I've talked to remembers a different part that hit them hardest. What do you remember about the Legend of Dragoon story? Alright my friends, thanks so much for watching.